sir. Get you over there, that'd be great.
Oh,
Yeah.
That by all indications, we have won this election. And this is a community victory, and it is so great that we are all celebrating together tonight. Because as far as I'm concerned, tonight's election results send a resounding message. Austinites say no to special interests undermining our local government. Austinites see through a multi-million-dollar corporate campaign of deception. And Austinites have spoken loud and clear. In our city, our safety is not for sale, not even for $10 million.
Sign a piece of legislation that will ensure that freedom exists in the open marketplace here in Austin, Texas. Well, thank y'all for being here this morning. Today is a very special day. Today is a day when we remember the men and women who made democracy possible in the United States of America. The men and women who sacrificed their lives to ensure that we would have freedom. The most important thing anybody here today can do is to remember Memorial Day. Those who fought for the freedom that we have the ability to even engage in during the democratic process. I want to thank the families of those that have fallen. I also want to thank some of the folks behind me who themselves have been veterans. It's because of our veterans and because of our fallen that America has remained the greatest country in the history of the world. Also want to congratulate Representative Patty. Representative Patty has been working on the issue about which we gather today for a long time. He is a model of perseverance in the way that he pursued and persevered to ensure this bill would reach my desk. I want to thank those who worked with him in the House, especially Jeannie Morrison, and in the Senate we have Senator Schwartner, and also from the House, Representative Kendall. It's a classic example of a team effort. You know, I spoke moments ago about the freedom that we have in the United States because of those who fought for our country. What today really is a celebration of freedom and free enterprise. This is freedom for every Texan, and today especially those who live in the Austin area, to be able to choose the provider of their choice as it concerns transportation. You know, we live in a country that its hallmark is freedom itself. And it's so disappointing that we gather today in a city that rejected and jettisoned that very freedom from the customers who wanted to have a choice about which transportation provider they could choose. So today is also a day of tremendous free enterprise. The freedom of the men and women who stand behind legislators, those who drive these vehicles, those who provide these vehicles, are now going to have greater power in the free enterprise system, not locked out by a bunch of heavy-handed bureaucrats in Austin, Texas, and other cities that are trying to over-regulate the ability of businesses to conduct business and customers to choose the best choice for themselves. In Texas, we don't believe in heavy-handed, top-down, one-size-fits-all regulatory environments that erect barriers for businesses to conduct business. And in Austin, Texas, whenever we have the opportunity at the Capitol, we're going to override burdensome, wrong-headed regulatory barriers and then disrupt the free enterprise system upon which Texas has been based and upon which has elevated Texas to be the #1 state in the United States for doing business. It's easy to see why the wrong-headed decision by the city of Austin to overregulate transportation providers has been problematic. It creates a patchwork quilt of regulations for businesses to operate in. There's one rule of regulations for Austin, Texas, and a completely different rule of regulations for those in West Travis County. There would be people in West Travis County who could call Lyft or Uber and get a ride to ride into Austin, but Lyft or Uber could not drive those people right back out to West Travis County. You could have someone fly into the Austin airport, drive through the city of Austin and face one set of rules on the pathway to Georgetown, which could have a completely different set of rules. That is a chaotic scheme. It is unacceptable in the free enterprise system in which Texas is based. This patchwork quilt of regulations does nothing but drive up the cost of business, drive down opportunities for customers to choose the provider of their choice. And we're making very clear today that neither freedom nor free enterprise is contained by city limits. The Austin city limits are not going to be able to contain that freedom and free enterprise for both customers as well as providers. Nor is any other city in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, everyone is going to have the freedom to choose the transportation provider of their choice. And every employee, every company is going to be able to compete in an open marketplace to provide the best product that consumers want the most. So especially on a day like Memorial Day, when we remember the freedoms that we have because of those who died for our freedom, I'm especially proud to be able to by law in the state of Texas. Take a few questions.
Governor Abbott, are you going to call a special session? If so, on what topics and when?
I'll be making